What's up, everybody? I'm Trap, and I love talking about movies. Around here, we like to dig into the creepy, the spooky, and the downright unsettling. And today, we're getting into The Conjuring. The Devil Made Me Do It. So we're back yet again with Ed and Lorraine Warren on another one of their very popular investigations. This movie was released in 2021, and there was 3 other films pumped out for this Conjuring universe before this and after Conjuring 2. We had Annabelle Creation, The Nun, and Annabelle Comes Home. This is the first actual Conjuring film not directed by James Wan. Instead, it was directed by Michael Chaves, who did The Curse of La Llorona, this movie, The Nun 2, and he's also the one that directed the latest one in the franchise, Conjuring Last Rites. This movie follows the possession of Arnie Johnson, who committed a crime while under possession, and Ed and Lorraine Warren are actually going out trying to prove that he was possessed to a court of law. So this one has a very different feel compared to the first 2 Conjuring films, as this one is more of an investigation, detective work kind of movie, as opposed to just a haunted house movie. But let's just get right into it. The good stuff. Like I said, this movie takes a pretty big turn, but I'm kind of on the fence with it. A big part of me really likes what they did with this film. As far as the franchise goes, I feel it was almost necessary to make some kind of a change to the formula. I don't have any gripes with the direction by Michael Chaves or the cinematography. Everything is still really good. It's just not quite James Wan. You're watching this and you can tell it's done by somebody else. I really like that we dive that much deeper into Ed and Lorraine Warren as characters. We see a lot more of their past and their relationship. There's health issues involved. Like the second movie started to, it really helps bring in a connection to these characters, make you care for them that much more, make the things that happen to them that much more impactful. There's some really good sequences in this movie that are spooky, but I wouldn't say this movie is scary by any means. There's some really good shots and some parts that are eerie, but I wouldn't say this is a scary movie. Moving right along, the bad stuff. Kind of just how I just mentioned in the good stuff, that it's obvious this wasn't done by James Wan, and they took a whole different approach to this film. It's kind of in my bad stuff too. I'm really on the fence with it. I think it works, but when you're looking at it in total comparison to the first 2 films, I don't know if I like it as much. But it's still good. I really enjoy true crime stuff, so the whole investigative approach to this film still works for me. I still really like this movie. It's just, as a Conjuring film, after seeing the first 2, I think it really caught a lot of people off guard, myself included. But I don't really have many gripes with this movie, so that being said, I'm just gonna get right into my spoiler rant here. So there's your warning. If you haven't seen this movie, you can check the chapters down below and skip ahead to my rating if you like. So for this one, we're out of the 70s, we're into 1981, and the movie opens up with an exorcism on an 8-year-old boy, David Glatzel. Branching away from the typical start of these movies, the first 2 times around where they're showing a completely different investigation they did, this one's just right into an exorcism, which is cool. I still like the intros to the first 2 films a bit better because it's something cool to look forward to. So when I first saw this one, I was a little bummed out that it just kind of jumped right into something, but at least it jumped right into something intense. So the start of the movie isn't bad by any means. Thought it was really cool that they actually got a contortionist to do the body twisting contortions of David on the table during the exorcism. Kind of like the Crooked Man in Conjuring 2, I would have probably put money on that being CGI. But knowing that it was a real person, it's just crazy what that person is able to do. I really liked the kid that played David Glatzel. When I first saw him, I was excited because I really liked him in The Haunting of Hill House. Also, the part where the priest gets knocked in the head by a dinner plate was pretty good. So anyways, Arnie tells the demon possessing David to leave him alone, take me instead, and at that point, Ed starts having a heart attack, but he sees that happen beforehand. So it's some time while Ed's in the hospital recovering, he's not really quite awake, can't speak yet, so no one knows that transfer was done. So as soon as he wakes up, he's like, "It's Aunt Arnie." Lorraine calls the cops, tells them like, "This is gonna sound nuts, but you need to go check on this dude. Something bad's about to happen." And sure enough, it did. We meet Arnie walking down the street, covered in blood, looking possessed. But of course, right as a cop pulls up, his face goes back to normal and he kind of regains consciousness, claiming he has no memory of stabbing this guy like 22 times. So he's obviously arrested, and thus unfolds the rest of the movie. Ed and Lorraine Warren talk to Arnie's lawyer and convince her to take on this case in an approach that had never been done before.
How do you plead?
Your Honor, my client pleads not guilty by reason of demonic possession.
Bonkers, right? So the whole remainder of this movie is Ed and Lorraine Warren off on their little journey, doing what they have to do to try and find proof that Arnie was possessed by the devil when he committed this crime. He was not aware of it. So you're going from the first two films that were wildly successful and really cool in my opinion, kind of being locked in a haunted house film, to where now they're out on the road, meeting people, investigating, finding clues, trying to solve this mystery. But like I said, we get more growth with the characters Ed and Lorraine Warren. We see some more into their beginnings, and while Ed's in the hospital, the connection they have with each other is very strong. So I really like that. I like that this movie is more about a curse as opposed to a new demon we're being introduced to, a demon possession. It's still that, but it's a little different. So they're kind of on the lookout, trying to find out who's performing this curse. They want to look into a case file from a police station, but in order to get access to that case file, the police officer that they talk to makes them help him find the body of a girl that has been missing. But anyways, in doing all this, they break into the morgue at night where the body who was recovered from the lake was brought to, so that Lorraine can try to make a connection with the body. That scene might be really the only scene that stuck with me after watching the film as something spooky or creepy. Still not scary, but it was just a really cool scene. She's kind of like stuck in this, I don't know, psychic plane or something. I don't know what that's called. Her connection with the occultist who's performing this curse, she's kind of stuck in that with her. And so Ed's just in the morgue by himself, and one of the bodies gets up and it's standing there. It's really weird. The body eventually starts rushing after Lorraine. It was a cool scene. Nothing in comparison to the scares we get in the first two movies, but it was cool. They are directed to a former priest named Kastner, played by John Noble, who has some knowledge about cults. And that guy is so creepy. I love his role in this movie. He is out there.
I have chicken shit on my hands.
He's so weird and creepy. He played that part so good. Another scene that I really enjoyed was when Ed and... oh God, does that guy have a name? Drew. Okay. Ed and Drew are at the Warrens' house, continuing to try and connect the dots and solve this thing. Lorraine goes back to Kastner's place for more information. Ed realizes that the location must be near Kastner's place, and Lorraine realizes that Ed is tied into this curse as well. The only way to stop this curse is to destroy the altar that she's performing it at. So he leads her down to the tunnels. He ends up getting killed off. That's one part in the movie that still kind of confuses me. I understand that the occultist has some kind of abilities similar to Lorraine, where they have that connection with each other, but she's not supernatural in her own right beyond that, I believe, as far as we're told or shown. When she enters the room, catches you off guard. It's cool for the movie's sake, I guess, but she's like way over here, and all of a sudden she's over here, slits his throat. It's a cool effect, but it always kind of catches me off guard, like, can she do that? Is she special? But anyways, this brings us to the big underground tunnel chase sequence to the climax of the movie, which is cool. It's fun. Ed kind of gets possessed for a part of it, and he's swinging around a big sledgehammer. I feel like there's many moments throughout that part where the occultist is just kind of not there. Anyways, the altar gets destroyed. The curse is lifted. As they turn, look down this dark hallway, the occultist starts coming out. She seems totally fine, unaffected, but it's not until Ed says something like, "Your curse is over." All of a sudden, she starts getting twisted and contorted. A demon disguised as her comes out and kills her because the curse needed something, right? I just keep wondering, I wonder if Ed just never said anything. Like, Would she still be cool? Was it just a perfect timing scenario? Anyways, they skip to the courtroom. In text, they show that the guy was found guilty of manslaughter in the first degree. He serves only 5 years and he's out happily ever after, blah, blah, blah. It kind of feels that the movie started like a Conjuring movie and it ended like a Conjuring movie. Everything in between felt investigative, true crime kind of a deal. And because that's the main block of the movie, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get more courtroom footage for this film. I would have liked to have seen some of the arguments, some of the proof presented. It just kind of like shows him standing there and then it fades to text and then it's over. Kind of a letdown in my regards of enjoying true crime and stuff like that in general. I'm sure most straight up horror fans were kind of glad that we didn't get that. It's so much about this movie that I'm on the fence with. Like, I know that this is a good movie. Is it a good Conjuring movie? That's where I'm tied up. So overall, solid movie, great acting, good cinematography, not so much on the horror and scares side of things, but not terrible either. Normally I would say something like, if you like the first one, you'll like this one, but I don't know if that's the case here. I think this one should be watched, absolutely, but maybe go into it expecting something different. If you're gonna go into this like I did in theaters, expecting a Conjuring 1 or 2, you might get really disappointed. It's not one that I revisit often, but when I do watch it, like, it's good. It's not bad, but I'm not often in the mood for this film. So I'm gonna give this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. It's kind of right near the middle there too. I think 2.5 would be doing it injustice. It is a good film. I think 3 is fair. But hey, that's just me. What do you guys think about The Conjuring, The Devil Made Me Do It, besides how long the title is? Are you kind of on the fence like me, where you love Ed and Lorraine Warren enough to enjoy these films? Was it just a letdown because it wasn't a strict horror film like the others before it? Let me know what you guys think about it down in the comments below. I'd love to get your input on this. If you're new here, welcome. If you enjoyed this, please like, please subscribe. It would really help out a brand new channel. I would really, really appreciate it. Also, let me know in the comments, are you guys excited for The Conjuring Last Rites, or are you kind of done with this guy as a director for these films? And remember, if you find a creepy witch totem under your house, time to move. See you guys next time.